The phone buzzed for the 100th time that day, and once again I ended the call before it rang. Graham could wait. I didn't want to talk to him. Preferably, I'd rather not talk to him ever again. After everything we had discovered about the High Council, there was no way I was associating myself with them again. Which was a shame, really. Before all hell broke loose last week, I'd had aspirations of becoming a member myself one day. But after everything we'd discovered, after everything that had happened, and all the terrible, indescribable things the High Council had done, the likelihood of my becoming a member was low. And that's how I wanted it to be anyway. I should have learned my lesson by now. The army hadn't been what I expected. Then the vampire world was different than they made it out to be. Even life as a human was far less fascinating than the movies and books presented it. I'd seen the best and the worst in people time and time again. I should have seen this whole ordeal coming. And no, I wasn't being overdramatic. Anyone who discovered their governing body that everyone put so much trust in had consented to murdering innocent people would have had the same reaction. Not that it made a difference, but they hadn't just consented to the murdering of innocent people, but the execution of people they'd been sworn to protect. Fellow witches. And to make matters even worse, they'd been giving up the lives of innocent, new fledgling witches. It could have happened to anyone. While I didn't want to associate myself with them, I couldn't abandon my post at Java Jinx, the cafe Lorelei and I had been running for some years now. Partly because I would have to find a new career, and at my age and with my circumstances, that would be hard enough, but also because I needed to find a way to protect the witches that didn't know the truth, which was the vast majority of them. I didn't want to create an uprising because that would only lead to more disaster, but there had been a way to knock the High Council off their high horses and replace them with people who actually deserved to be there. "Will you tell me why you're not talking to Graham? What did he do to you?" Lorelei asked. No, I hadn't had the guts to tell her yet. Lorelei had grown up among witches and was close to many. I didn't know if I had the balls to tell her what the coven she'd grown up in had done and tear apart her faith in everything. "It's nothing you need to be concerned with. This is just between him and me." It hurt lying to her. Thank goodness her sense of smell couldn't detect lies, because I didn't feel like I was doing a good job as it was. "One day I'll get it out of you. You know that," she said. And one day I would tell her, when I had a solid plan of how to bring those monsters down. "How is little Nora?" she asked. "And please tell me he died in a fire or a car accident since I last spoke to you." And by he, she meant Wade, my witch hunter boyfriend. It had been one hell of a week. Somehow we'd managed to avoid the news spreading about our relationship, but I didn't know how long that would last, not that I cared much about other witches' opinions. Graham might be looking for my forgiveness, but he also didn't like the fact that I was seeing a guy he considered dangerous. It was in Graham's best interest to keep it secret as long as possible anyway. He owed me for what he'd put me through. "Lorelei, behave, please," I said. She threw her hands in the air in a surrender only an idiot would believe. "Fine, I will not speak ill of the deadly man in your life. Are you still letting him loose around Nora?" I raised an eyebrow at her, and she gave me one of those looks that said she had no idea what I was getting upset about.